it's Elise Corbin with two of my helpers. These are my grandchildren, Madeline and Nathaniel. Hi. And I had several others that were out in the creek earlier. And what we did was we looked for macroinvertebrates to see at what kind of indication that Greasy Creek is. This is the biological indicator of the health of our creek.
Those are crawdads, also known as crayfish.
Right. And so
I like to hold the babies.
Nathaniel, will you put one into and put it?
Guys,
a baby.
I wanted to see Papa, and now I'm gonna go up in the car.
Okay, here we go. Now, we've got 3 sheets. We've got sensitive to pollution, somewhat sensitive pollution, and pollution tolerant. And so, Nathaniel,
the crawdad goes right there.
That's right. They're somewhat sensitive to pollution. What else did we find over here?
What is that?
What else did we find?
What is that?
We found these. That's a crane fly larva, but we didn't find any of those today.
Dang it.
Now, we need to, when you're looking at these, trying to identify these macroinvertebrates, remember, you can see them with your naked eye, and they have no backbone. That's what an invertebrate is. Macro means you can see with your naked eye, and it's an invertebrate, which means it has no backbone. So these little critters can tell us a lot about our creek and the water quality in it. Now, this one happens to be a dragonfly larva. And we're going to put it with the dragonfly nymph because it looks like this first, and then Nathaniel, pull the other one up to show what it looks like when it actually goes to the larval stage.
We have two of these. Oh, sorry. We have 2 of these and 1 of these.
Now, how many legs do they have? Can you count?
They have 1, 2, 3, 6 legs.
Right.
And then here they have 6 legs as well.
Now, what we have here is we have this book that's called Rochelle's Freshwater Macroinvertebrates that we can use. We also have a dichotomous key that will say if segmented, non-segmented. If not, then you go to, and so you follow this dichotomous key. Wings cover the entire body, and it tells you what to do in order to get through this. And I will upload a copy of this to our website. We also have sheets like this that help us identify that we provide for helper mites and things like that. So what we found some dragonfly nymphs.
This one is browner. This one is more brown than this one because I'm guessing this one is younger than this one because they get browner as they get older. Because this one's dark.
Yes.
So then this one is
stage.
This one has went through that stage and it's not as dark as this one, but you can still tell it's darker than that one. So that means that one is older.
Did you know that dragonflies lived in the water before they become adult dragonflies and start flying? They live in the water a couple of years.
Most people
All right, we found a couple of, we found salamanders.
Aren't they fun?
Now, one thing about amphibians is they have very porous skin. So they absorb gases and they absorb water. They cannot tolerate pollution at all. So if you find amphibians like toads, frogs, and salamanders, then you know you've got very, very healthy water because they cannot tolerate pollution. Their skin absorbs it. So we found lots of salamanders.
Oh, one's crawling on me.
That is definitely an indicator of a healthy ecosystem.
One's crawling on me. Yes, it is.
Yep. And then we found a lot of crawfish. The other thing that we found, and what we did was we got into the stream. I took pictures of the children out in the stream, and you'll see those pictures. We got a pile of leaf litter, too, and looked through all this leaf litter, and this is what we collected out of the leaf litter.
We collected salamanders in this.
Yeah.
We collected crawdad and crayfish in this.
Uh-huh.
And we collected dragonfly nymphs and their before stages.
Larva, that's right. And one other thing that we got, we did some aquatic worms. Where are the aquatic worms? Here we go.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I forgot about them.
And so even though you can see them with the naked eye, sometimes it's better to put this thing across this.
One of them is red.
That's right. We have some aquatic worms in here. And aquatic worms, guess what? They can tolerate pollution. But we found a lot of stuff that cannot tolerate pollution. So what do we think about Greasy Creek? Do we think Greasy Creek has a lot of pollution in it?
No, Greasy Creek, I feel like, is a very clean environment for things like salamanders, dragonflies, and their beginning stages and larvae, crayfish, fish, and all the wildlife that lives in the water.
Right. What color was when we were down there at the water? Did it run fast and was it pretty clear?
Well, you see how the crawdads, when you kind of touch them, they pinch you and then run really fast.
Yes, they did. It was kind of difficult to catch them, wasn't it?
Uh-huh. So you basically catch them is you have to scoop them up fast on the ground and catch one of these baby ones. You see how I'm trying to catch one, which they are really hard to hold.
Right there is a baby one.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get these critters back to the creek so that they'll live and enjoy the water. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and learning more about macroinvertebrates. Clean and clear, wasn't it?